Hello, everyone. Welcome to Women in Property podcast. Today, our guest is Anita. Hi, Anita.
Hi, guys.
So, Anita, do you want to tell us a little bit about your journey in property?
Yeah, so where should I start? I don't know.
Education or?
Yeah, well, initially I've always been interested in property, but I didn't have any education on property. I wasn't at all educated in property until a year and a half ago. But yeah, I did originally. So when I was 20, I bought my first flat then when I was 21 by the time it went through, but it was a shared ownership property. I, at the time, was like super financially naive, didn't really know what I was doing. If I knew, oh God, I know so many people say this, but if I knew what I know now, yeah, everything would have been different. But anyway, at the time, I bought this shared ownership property. It was just me by myself. And I was working in care as a carer for elderly people and vulnerable people with disabilities and all sorts of things. So at that time, I was working like super long hours to kind of get approved for a mortgage at that time. And I ended up... the care company that I worked for, they lost like 70% of their work because in Bucks at that time, the government said if a elderly person or anybody that gets provided with care was to people that get funded for their care from the government, they had to use only like 2 or 3 care providers within High Wycombe and Bucks. And so the care company that I worked for, they lost about 70% of their work. So I went from working like 70 hours a week to part-time, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I didn't really know how, and I ended up getting into a financial rut and I didn't know how to get out of it. It was a 2-bedroom flat that I had bought and I ended up having a lodger constantly. Then I was still not able, I felt like I had to be either a slave to the house and constantly working and constantly having somebody living with me, or ending up selling it. So 8 years later I ended up selling it, paid off what I owed and started again. So yeah, then I actually got educated in property. How it happened was my partner actually showed me Samuel Leeds on YouTube.
Yep.
He was like, watch this guy, he's like local to us as well. And so I started watching the videos with my partner but I was like super into it. My partner, he's in the industry anyway, so he's interested in property, he works within property. But yeah, I was like, I booked the crash course. I think I booked 2 tickets at the time for the Saturday, and it was in Birmingham. The next one, like nearest time frame, was in Birmingham. So I booked that one, and I booked it for myself and my partner. My partner ended up having to, because he plays football as well. So he was like, I actually have a football match on the Saturday. And then I spoke to a friend of mine. She was like, I really want to come. I really want to get into property. Please, can I come? I was like, yeah, perfect. So she came with me. And from there, we signed up to, I think it was the BRR course at the time. I actually signed up to it thinking I was signing up to the academy, but it was just the week course. And then once I'd done when I got to the week's course, me and my friend both did it. Then we realised there was a whole other academy. So maybe I don't know how we missed that, but anyway, then I signed up to the academy from there. And
straight away, you knew from those 4 days that this is where you wanted to be.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not this. Yeah, 100%. I wasn't. I didn't Ara at all. I wasn't questioning it. I just knew that I wanted to do it.
Yeah. So how's your journey been since then? So when was that, and how do we fast forward to now?
So that was when I did the BRR course. That was, I think, June 24. Yeah.
Okay, yep.
That's similar to you, wasn't it?
I was September, but I think it was the same
24.
course, maybe. But maybe not. Yeah. No, September would have been different.
No, yeah. But it might have been another BRR course.
Yeah.
But so mine was June. I'm sure it was June, either May or June. Anyway, somewhere around there. And yeah, never looked back. It was a it's been a roller coaster of a journey since then. But yeah, it's been good. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. So what is your strategy, shall we say? Shall we start off there, or what was your first deal? What would you?
So yeah,
What's memorable?
when I first after first signing up, I wanted to deal sell because I was still working. I was at that point I was an account manager for a logistics company, and I I wanted to carry on working. I quite enjoyed my job at the time, and it was a good income. So yeah, I wanted to start off deal selling to see if I could replace my income that way. Anyway, my job was also quite full on, and I also had like an extra part-time job that I was doing on the side that was just local to me. I'm literally like always working, or used to be always working. Now it doesn't feel so much like work because I actually enjoy it.
Okay, that's great.
So yeah, so at that time life was just very full on, and I didn't do much probably for the first 3-4 months. And my friend who I'd done the course with, she didn't sign up to the academy at the time. She is on the academy now, but she was sending me deals from like deal sources that were selling deals, and I was like, we don't want to buy a deal, we want to find a deal. Like I want us to deal sell, so it feels pointless to buy a deal from someone else. But anyway, time went on and we still hadn't done anything. So in the end, I was like, I saw somebody within the academy selling a deal, and I said to my friend, actually, I think we should just buy a deal, because otherwise we're not doing anything, we're not making any progress. And although, you know, it's not the right thing, or not the right thing, but Samuel does say don't buy your first deal just because he wants you to learn it yourself. But yeah, if we hadn't have bought those, we bought 2 deals at the same time. 2 apartments next door to each other in Brighton. But yeah, if we hadn't have bought those, things would have been, I don't know how long we would have taken to make a move. So, and that forced us into doing something. So yeah, that's where it all started. Bought two rent to SA deals in Brighton, right in the town centre. They're really good deals, actually. They're really good up until today. They're great. We really struggled though. We bought them in December. We struggled in the winter months because Brighton is so super seasonal, and unless you know what you're doing, and we didn't know what we were doing to start with. So yeah, we struggled in the winter months, but summer came and yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. But what made you buy in Brighton? Because you don't live in Brighton.
No.
How far away is it?
So it's about an hour and a half.
Okay.
With no traffic. So yeah, 2 hours, could be 2.5 hours. We'd heard good things about Brighton within like the whispers of the academy.
Okay.
And then my godsister actually goes to university in Brighton, and she's come from Cyprus to go to university in Brighton. And so, and my mum and her partner, they often visit Brighton and go and stay with her. There was quite like a bit of a connection to like a family connection to Brighton, and I thought, it's a good place, so let's give it a go. So that's why we started with Brighton.
Okay, no, that makes sense. So while you were like going through the December period, you must have had a lot of doubt.
Yeah.
You know, for 3 months you did nothing. Then you bought a deal, which is something you said you probably wouldn't want to do. And then you started in probably the worst time for Brighton because of the seasonality. What got you through it, and what did you learn?
The support of others got us through it, but also I really believed it would work. I knew that what we were doing was going through a period of learning and, you know, just getting to grips with what we were doing. And I kept saying to my friend, she was like, I think we made the wrong decision. I don't think we should have done this. We shouldn't have done Brighton. We should have done London. And I was like, look, I believe it's going to work. Like, I know that we're struggling right now, but I do think it's going to work. So, yeah, we just
So it's having each other. I think having a
the
partnership.
support from having somebody else you're working with, having the academy, because we spoke to a couple of people within the academy that had essays in Brighton, and like Ashley, she was really helpful. She was like, just through the winter months you just have to make sure your pricing is at break even point. Basically, that's you have to aim to break even in Brighton within the winter, the worst months. So yeah, we did that.
Yeah, and that reduces the pressure, If you become a bit vulnerable and tell people that you're struggling, which is difficult at the beginning, you don't want to admit defeat, but that's how people open up and they help you.
Yeah.
You have to go out with something and then people will come to you.
Yeah.
Or you just have to go to people, like you said, who already have property there.
Yeah.
Who are succeeding, because you're only going to learn from them.
Exactly.
Okay, so what is your strategy? Was it deal selling as well? Did that start? Or was it focusing on the rent-to-rents? Because you bought 2. What made you buy 2?
They were just next door to each other and they were so easy. Like, they were fully furnished. They were in a great location. Have you been to Brighton?
I went there once for the inner circle. So I parked in like an underground car park and walked to the venue. That's all I saw. And Brighton was in the dark.
Yeah, okay.
So I haven't really
enjoyed... You have to experience it like on a sunny day. On a sunny day, Brighton feels like you're on holiday or somewhere.
Yeah, I've been to the beach, but it's a pebbly beach. I'm not a fan.
It's not right.
Yeah, but your pictures when can I just say your pictures from last week when you were by the beach?
It was lovely.
I was like, I don't even care if it's a pebbly beach.
I know, that's how I felt. I was literally walking along the promenade thing and I was like, I actually feel like I'm abroad right now. It was so nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these 2 apartments are right opposite the shopping centre in Brighton. They're literally so central.
Okay.
They're a perfect location for.
So what kind of people do you get there? Do you get a mix, or is it holiday makers, or does it depend on the time of year?
It's a mix of people actually, because last summer, what we did was we actually had long-term guests.
Oh, you did?
In both properties, and this year we're not going to do that. We're going to have short-term guests because there's such a high demand all summer through for short-term guests. And we were speaking Keely, my business partner and friend, she was speaking to I think it was Lisa and James, and they said to her said to her, you're missing out by having long terms in Brighton during the summer. So this year we're going to do it differently.
Yeah, and I guess that's what you learn. Last summer you were just so happy to have long-term guests because the winter
to be in profit.
The winter was probably drier. Yeah. But now that you've spoken again to other people who are successful in SA management and operating, you're like, no, actually, this is a better way.
Yeah.
And I also think it's a better way, because if your property is more expensive, you're getting more revenue, and people are willing to pay because it's so in demand.
I know.
So go for it. How's your summer looking now? Is it looking good? Or?
Yeah, it's looking good. I've actually had I have a love-hate relationship with Airbnb.
Oh.
And they have been the bane, like, since January, actually. I don't know what's going on with them, but they've been giving me a hard time, giving us a hard time, like, literally, I feel like I'm on an emotional roller coaster with Airbnb.
Yeah.
They're messing with our listings. So at the moment, they're saying they're going to delete our list. We were getting like a load of bookings coming in.
Yeah.
And through Airbnb and Booking.com. They're our favourite 2 platforms that we use. I've had issues with other platforms.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that after. Yeah.
Yeah, but so at the moment, Airbnb are saying they're actually going to delete our listings because they think that they're a duplicate listing. They're the same because the kitchen and the build of them, the design inside is the same.
Yeah.
They're 2 separate. One's a studio flat and one's a 1-bedroom flat.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm like, I'm going to take you to court.
Wow, it must be getting serious.
Honestly, I've literally had it because they're like, we've thoroughly checked through these things. I'm like, you're obviously not. The lack of understanding of the situation. I'm telling you, I can show you proof that these apartments are separate apartments. I have separate contract.
Yeah, different door numbers even.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just they've been a pain. They've been
and you've escalated. You've told the managers what more can you do?
I know. So at the moment we're in the process of because we've got a couple of accounts, so we're in the process of relisting. But yeah, we get a variety of different. We have people coming for holidays, for trips, visiting, people coming for work.
Okay.
Last year we had a couple of students that were studying, and we had a teacher that was teaching, because they have a lot of I don't know if they have like English or foreign language schools during the summer in Brighton.
Okay.
But yeah, they have some type of schooling going
So it's
on
good
there.
to know the area, right? That's part of your due diligence, or it's probably what you learn with the
definitely.
requests that come in, because you probably ask them, what are you coming for?
Yeah.
What's happening? And things like that. So I
Yeah.
think that's key as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So which platforms do you use? Is it Booking.com and Airbnb? And did you have bad experiences with the others, or do you just prefer doing direct bookings?
So we do prefer doing direct bookings. Direct bookings are always great because you don't have to pay the commission. But yeah, with Airbnb is actually, other than the issues that they've been causing us lately, they are my favourite platform.
I agree.
They're such an easy platform to use.
Yep.
Everything is easy. You can communicate with them easily. You can, if there's any damage to a property, you can request that and claim it through Airbnb very easily. Yeah, they're just like
It's
easy
nice,
to
and
use.
it's everyone's
nice and simple.
favourites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Booking.com are good, but they're not as good on their customer service side or host service side. They're a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
And we've had a few dodgy guests through Booking.com.
Yeah, I feel like Airbnb guests are kinder in their reviews.
Yeah, I know.
That's been my experience. Booking.com, I really find it difficult to do minimum stays and communicate with guests. So yeah, my go-to is Airbnb as well.
Yeah. Sure. To be honest, my main issue with Booking.com is the communication with them. They're not as quick, and they're not as, like, if there is an issue with a guest, Booking.com are quite slow with dealing with it or doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Or if there's any damage, that kind of thing, they're not very quick with. So.
Okay. So do you want to share your worst guest story? Or most memorable? Because this is what SA management is about, right? Perfect guest, perfect outcome.
Yeah.
Funny guest, a lot of headache, a lot of communication, a lot of money. Whatever you're comfortable sharing.
We have had a few challenging guests. To be honest, although I say challenging, they haven't really been challenging as in, like, they haven't given us a difficult time, but we've noticed things on our Ring doorbell.
Oh.
So the first one we had was, we had a guest in Brighton who definitely was an escort or something.
Oh, wow, I've heard stories of this kind of thing. Okay.
So there was like 3 men in and out, like, in one night. And yeah, we were like, okay, what do we do? We weren't sure what do we do about, like, what we should do about it. And we spoke to other people, and they said, if you actually call the police, they won't do anything. They can't. Yeah. So luckily she was only there for like 5 days, but
was it 3 men for 5 days every night? So she made a lot of money.
And to be honest, that one as well, that was a direct booking. That wasn't through a platform or anything. So yeah, she made her money, we made our money.
Everyone wins.
wins. Win-win. So yeah, that was our first one that we were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then the second one we had was, actually, this was last year. We actually saw the Ring doorbell camera, and our flat was getting raided at like 3:00 in the morning.
Oh my
by
God.
the police. And so we called the police station because, like, we didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, they'd arrested the guest. And, crazy. So that guest in particular, she was a drug dealer. And, yeah, they arrested her. We didn't actually see any... We couldn't tell. She was only there for, like, I think 2 nights or something. Yeah, but they'd actually caught her outside of the property somewhere. I don't know exactly where. And she'd given them her keys, and so they came and searched the flat and, like, raided the flat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that is interesting. Okay, so you've lived quite the life through the Airbnb.
It's been good.
Strategy.
We have had a couple of occasions where people have thrown parties and
Yeah. I
yeah,
think that's the norm.
been-
That's why people book Airbnb, I feel, to throw a party.
Oh God, don't say that.
Okay, maybe they don't.
There are people. I wouldn't say the majority of people
Yeah.
book to do that,
Yeah,
but
no.
there are a lot of people that do that, especially young people.
Yeah.
When they don't, they haven't got their own places to have a party in, so they'll just book a property through Airbnb or Booking.com and
Yeah, exactly. So tell us a little bit about how your business has grown within property. So you started with the 2 flats in Brighton.
Yeah, so started with the 2 flats in Brighton, and then when we started making some money in the summer, instead of kind of taking that money back, we took on another essay in
Your
third essay in Milton Keynes.
Closer to home.
Yeah, so originally we were looking for deals to sell because we knew Milton Keynes was a good area. So we started looking at deals to sell, and we came across this studio, and it was it was just one of those properties. Sometimes you'll come across a property and it's just so easy to just take and go.
Yeah.
It was pretty much ready. We staged it and we were ready within like a day, 2 days.
Oh, that's great.
So
it's already furnished as well.
Yeah,
You
it was
just
furnished. We just
finishing.
added the finishing touches, and it was like really nice spec. It's above Milton Keynes train station, so everything about it was. So originally we were trying to sell the deals, and then I said to my business partner, "Let's keep this one," and she was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, let's just." It's just so perfect. Like, I just don't think we should sell it. So yeah, we kept that one, and then we were in the process of selling the other one, but then the actual agent decided that they'd already had enough company lets in that building, so they won't do company lets in that building anymore.
Okay.
So yeah, that's annoying. But anyway, good for us, for our essay that we've got there in a way. But yeah, so then I also met another Academy member through Samuel Social. I was speaking to him on there. He put a message out saying, I've got a property in Nottingham. If anybody is interested in helping, then get in touch. So I messaged him, and I was kind of new to it all, and I was like, yeah, I'm happy to help. I don't live near Nottingham, but I'm more than happy to help if you need anything. So started speaking to him through there. He's actually a doctor. He lives in Dubai at the moment, but he does have properties in Nottingham. So yeah, we started speaking, and he was like, I want to take on rent to SAs. Do you want a JV? And you can manage them and I'll put the funds in. I said, yeah, sure, that's fine. So he kept buying deals from deal sources, and he'd like send me the deal. He's like, what do you think of this? And he was sending me deals in areas that I'm still quite new to. I'm like 6 months in or whatever. I've had my essays for a few months, 3 or 4 months. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. I'm happy to manage them for you. And we agreed on like a split with once he gets his money back, then we'll split the profit. The first one we took on was one in Cambridge that needed a lot of work.
Okay.
And he said to me, just use this as your blank canvas, just do what you can with the property and like do it up to a nice standard.
Yeah.
So I did that, but I was still working full time at that point, and I was finding people we literally went all in with this property. Like, we changed the doors, we decorated, and just everything was done to like a good standard. But it just took a long time. It took about 4 weeks to do it because I was only able to go there really weekends. Cambridge is like 2 hours away. I was sometimes going in the week, or I was like telling my work, I'm really sorry, I've got to work from home, and going there. That one took a while, but that one has been like a guest favourite. Although winter was a bit of a struggle again in Cambridge. But that one's been good. We've actually had a famous brand hire it. So during December, there's a Christmas fair in Brighton. I don't know if you've heard of, there's like a dog food brand called...
Probably not, I don't know about that.
I know, it's called Butternut Box.
Okay.
So they're quite a famous dog food brand. They'd hired the house for the month to have like influencers stay there for different times. Yeah. So yeah, that was quite good. But anyway, so ended up taking on 3 properties with the investor, with my JV partner who lives in Dubai. And so then in total I was managing 6 properties, 3 with him and 3 with my friend Keely. Then people through the academy were coming to us and saying, you know, do you want to manage this property for us? And I was like, yeah.
You're building a brand, right? People are getting to know
Exactly.
that you do this. That's your specialism.
Yeah. So people were coming to us and were like, yeah, do you want to manage it? I've got this property. Can you do it at a certain percentage? And I was like, sure, I'll do that. I was just like agreeing to everything. I was just saying yes, because I wanted to, I was saying to my friend as well, you know, we're doing this for ourselves anyway. It just makes sense to do it for other people because it's the same strategy. It's the same process for all of them. Obviously some areas are different than others.
Yeah.
But yeah, it worked. And then we started naturally coming across deals. So we sold a couple of deals as well, and we also managed those. And and then we got to winter last year and we struggled.
Okay.
We really struggled during winter last year with a few of the properties. Airbnb caused us an issue with suspending a couple of listings because one of the properties we were managing for somebody else, the guest went there and they lifted up the mattress protector, the bed sheets and everything, and saw stains on the mattress. So they said that, and they saw a cigarette butt in the garden and they saw a hair somewhere and they were like, I'm not staying here. This place is awful. So, they didn't stay there, but they were still able to leave us a review. So they left like a 1-star review and Airbnb suspended the listing.
Oh.
Literally at the worst time of year. That was like end of December.
Yeah.
So January, we weren't able to get any bookings through Airbnb. Booking.com in that area, a certain area in London, was not great.
Yeah.
And also January's tough anyway. So we really struggled in January. And then we had another property that we'd again been asked to manage for someone. When we took on the property, the gas and electric was on a prepayment meter. There was no Wi-Fi connection at all in the property.
Oh.
So we had to arrange, so we obviously got like a portable Wi-Fi thing in the meantime. We had to keep topping up the gas and electric meters, but then a guest turned up one day and the gas had run out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So that guest left us a bad review as well.
No way. But they can just top that up.
Yeah, I know. They were like, no, I'm not it was actually Boxing Day as well.
Oh, it's the worst
No,
one.
I'm not topping it up. I was like, okay, you're gonna have to wait a couple of hours till I can get there. And they were like, no, they were like, it's freezing in here, we're going right now. So anyway, they left us a bad review again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I said to Airbnb, if these guests are not staying, why are you allowing them to leave a review?
Yeah, because they would have got a refund.
I know.
Yeah, I think you should definitely escalate that because I think that's how Airbnb starts. I've had experience where people have complained that the clean isn't good, but that's the cleaner's fault.
Yeah.
And ultimately, they need to be doing the thing right. And I agree with the guest.
Yeah.
But when the cleaners went to go in to clean it, the guest was not happy.
Yeah.
And then she wanted to leave. But I think you just have some guests who are very particular.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it seems to be that person would have done.
Yeah.
Because who would lift all of that up?
I know.
It just doesn't make sense.
I know.
So
I know. It was, the thing is, if it was a different time of year, it wouldn't have been so bad.
Yeah.
But because of the time of year it was, and, you know, bookings are sparse in certain areas at certain times of year, as it is, to have those 2 listings suspended and we weren't able to get any more bookings. And then Airbnb were also saying to us, you're going to have to, you're not allowed to list any more properties anymore.
No way.
They literally told us, that's what they were telling us for a month, and then they started so that's why I created a new account, because I thought
you can't go with nothing.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
crazy.
We had like 12 listings on this account. Anyway, so created a new, and they said to me, you can create a new one with and list it on there, but you can't use this one anymore. Anyway, then a month later they allowed us to use it again, and then they gave us superhost status. I was like, literally, I don't understand what you guys are doing. You're playing with our emotions. One minute you're saying we can't ever list again on this account, and then you're giving us superhost status within the same week of, honestly.
Yeah.
So anyway, those 2 properties we were managing for 2 people, they took them off us because they're like, you're not getting us any bookings. It's January. We need the money. And I was like, okay, like fair enough, take them, because well, I don't really have any
Yeah.
say, but I would rather someone take them and see for themselves, or
Yeah.
try with somebody else that can do a better job than I can. I don't want people to suffer or struggle
Yeah.
if I'm unable to do
Yeah.
the best I can because of whatever reasons, because those were also issues with the property. So lesson to self is that going forward, when we're taking on properties to manage, I'm fully vetting the properties. If the property is not up to standard, I'm not managing that property.
Yeah, because you're going to get the blame, and it's not your fault.
Exactly.
Because you're the messenger, you're the person in the middle.
Exactly.
So what's happening now then? Because we know that there's been a development.
Yes. So now we are in a good place. We've now got a total of 11 properties we're managing.
Wow.
And
nationwide as well, right?
Yeah.
Brighton to Nottingham or further?
No, so I don't actually have anything further than Cambridge and Brighton, which is like the opposite directions. But yeah, so Cambridge, Brighton, Milton Keynes, Aylesbury, London.
Great. Yeah. All commutable, all easy to look after.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So we actually do want to grow the management side of things going forward. Now that we feel we're in a better position and we've been through a couple of trials and learnt a few things. Yeah, we feel much more confident in managing for somebody else.
Yeah.
Especially, another thing I won't do is take on a property to manage at the end of a year, because it's not the right time. Like, you need to build up the reviews, you need to build up the momentum going into winter. So like this time of year now is a perfect time to take on a property to manage, whereas other times of year I wouldn't. If it was November, December, I'd be like, no, we're not taking any more at the moment, and then I'd start again in March.
Okay, great. So what does a day in the life of you look like?
It varies from day to day. So it can, some days I'll wake up, go for a walk, and then go back and do some more, because I'm going through the new BRR and the new education training.
So you're changing up your strategy a bit?
I actually want to do more BRRs this year.
Okay.
So yes, I forgot to tell you, I bidded on a property at auction. I've been trying to raise finance. We've just extended the completion again, so we're going to be completing next week on this property. So yeah, I've been actually trying to raise finance for the past month or so towards this property. I'm halfway there, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But
I think it's always tough because you're completely changing your strategy. You're known for SA management. Now you want to do BRR.
Yeah.
Now you haven't just said BRR. You said, I'm going to buy an auction. I don't have the money, so I'm also going to try and raise finance.
Yeah.
What made you take on so many challenges all at the same time?
I started thinking to myself, I want to buy a property. I want to do a BRR. So originally, because of the funds, I was going to go up north, and then I decided on looking locally just in case I found anything.
Yeah.
So I looked locally, showed my partner this property in High Wycombe, and he actually knew the previous owner of the property. And anyway, I put a pre-auction. I did my numbers. I spoke to a couple of mentors. I put a pre-auction offer in on this property because I thought to myself, I can put the deposit down at auction, but it's just the rest of the funds, and I think it will be quite easy to find because this is a good deal. Anyway, I'll speak to you soon. It was kind of easy, but it's also been a challenge. But not a bad challenge, but just challenging.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's the time.
I know.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
I feel so bad.
No. So what is your future like? How have you found trying to get the finance? Because I know that's a struggle, and it's something also that I'm quite keen on, because I think, when you live in London, you think to get cheaper deals, go up north. In reality, if we can make something all like close by to us and just niche down into getting the finance. How, would you give any tips on how to raise finance, or what worked for you? Is it the network? Is it social media?
I would say the network. The network is everything. I've spoken to other people within our network, though, that they've said social media, because the only thing is with our network, everyone within our academy and within our network, they want to make money the same way.
Yep.
So they're looking for the same kind of deals and the same projects themselves.
Yeah.
So it's quite difficult to find investors within the academy sometimes, unless there's a huge margin for profit.
Yeah. Do you think... Sorry, go on.
No.
I was going to say, do you think being a woman makes it more difficult raising finance or going into BRR or the auction? Or anything?
Actually, I had to think about this question previously, and I have always, I like to believe the good in everything. Okay. I like to see the good in everything, but there has been a couple of times over the past couple of weeks that I've thought to myself, is this an issue because am I not being taken seriously because I'm a woman? Whereas when it comes to essays and essay management, men don't mind handing that stuff over to a woman.
Yeah.
But when it comes to projects and investing, I feel like that's a little bit of a different category for a man I'd like to hope that I'm wrong. I'd like to believe that isn't the case, but I have that thought has crossed my mind over the last couple of weeks. I've a couple of people that I've spoken to, I've thought to myself, if I was a man, I feel like they might take this a bit more seriously.
You know what? This is why podcasts like this are really important, because it's to show people that it's difficult. But if we just band together and help each other and collaborate, we're only going to get better.
Yeah.
So I think social media comes into that, and networking.
Yeah.
But what role models or mentors do you think have influenced you on this journey?
I mean, there's so many successful women within the Property Academy.
We're in the right place.
Yeah, there's so many women that are killing it, not just within the academy, but just in general in property. That vision board making class that we went to,
Epic.
Those women there, they're killing it. So, that's why I don't like to actually, what I said previously, I don't like to actually confirm that for sure, because I just feel like it's not necessarily true, because also if once you've got it might be true for your first one when you don't have anything to show that you know what you're talking about, or know what you're doing. That's when it's a little bit difficult, but I think it's a little bit difficult anyway when it's your first one, because you have no backup, and that might be because you're a woman, that might not be because you're a woman, but we
don't know any other perspective because it's happening to us, and we are women. So that's just how we feel. So thank you so much. Is there anything else that you would like to cover that you think we haven't?
I think we've covered everything. I feel like we could talk for ages, but we haven't got enough time.
No, for sure. I think it's just good to be in a place where we can talk about our issues and not be afraid. It's a safe space. We're going through very similar things. Airbnb and serviced accommodation is very tricky, but property is tricky. Having a job is tricky.
I know.
I
prefer this tricky though.
You're in control.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's down to me where I work from. It's down to me what I do with my day to day.
Being your own boss, who wouldn't want that? Freedom. I don't have to ask
freedom.
for annual leave.
It's exactly. And I just feel like I actually don't feel like I'm working. Even if I'm sat down all day doing reports for the people that I'm managing for, I still don't feel like it's working, because I can do it from wherever I want. I can have something on in the background. It's just great.
So where can people find you?
Instagram, mainly Instagram, or my email address. I don't have a website yet, but Instagram's probably the best place, @properties4you.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me.
For sure.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you so much.
And we'll speak later anyway.
Here's to women in property.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.